right out of the gate, Mongolia not wasting any time. ENKH AMAR driving hard and getting 2.
Powerful attack by Mongolia's ENKH AMAR.
Still trying to work her magic in the parterre position, but she will settle for the 2. Not even 30 seconds in, a lightning quick attack from Mongolia and the quick lead.
SCHELL didn't go down to the typical parterre on your chest and hips down with your arms out. She stayed up on all 4s, and even then, ENKH AMAR couldn't grab a gut wrench. So great defense by SCHELL not to go and get turned from parterre.
Anna SCHELL first joined her wrestling club at the age of 6, followed her brother. Big brother used to wrestle, so she went along to a training session with him. It was so funny that she stayed with it. And one thing about Germany, like so many countries that are trying to get women's wrestling to the forefront, she struggled to find some competitive training partners in her region. There's no regular league competition for women when she was coming through, so she would have to drive, sometimes even hop on a train to go train with other women her caliber, or simply train with men.
And we see that a lot, and now that there are some women's clubs coming up, it makes it so much easier to have a feel that's different than a man, and so these women's clubs that are coming up, wrestling in a specific style, it's great that she's one that is willing to make that travel, to make that trip, to make herself better.
ENKH AMAR behind the early 2, kind of settling in right now with a minute to go in the first period.
SCHELL really holding on hard with her left-hand collar tie. ENKH's going to need to try to clear that weapon off of her head in order to get a leg attack. Difficult for SCHELL to take off on a leg attack, standing up pretty tall, flat-footed, back on her heel. And ENKH AMAR going to that wrist roll position, and she takes the hand off of her head. Let's see if she can get a score from there as our first passivity call up against ENKH AMAR.
You go back through the years for ENKH AMAR, 7th place at the U23s 2 years ago. So like so many of her Mongolian teammates, she has emerged this week in Oslo and really truly has arrived. First period will come to an end. We'll keep an eye on the passivity. Remember, the Mongolian verbally warned, so if you're on a SCHELL, you're going to want to try to dictate the pace right away to start this second period.
You just brought up a great point about momentum. When some of these wrestlers we haven't really seen, we haven't really heard of, but as their team starts to raise their level at a tournament, their expectations are, I can do this too. And you see it in every sport. Sometimes that you pick a good weekend to have a great weekend, and Mongolia has really done that here.
Again, SCHELL with the heavy collar tie. Left-hand collar tie, snapping down. Really able to get firmly to where she wants to go with it. It's just she can't steer ENKH AMAR into the direction she wants to go. ENKH AMAR very stingy, as you like to use the word defensively, and that's a compliment. Straight on double blast from ENKH AMAR. Sprawling back with the hips is Anna SCHELL. ENKH AMAR trying to cut the angle a little bit more. Switches to the single. Sit-out position from SCHELL. And ENKH AMAR is going to drive back and get SCHELL on her back. And they go out of bounds.
I'm interested to see how they're going to call this. I saw 2 blue, then 2 red from our main official, or from our Nat Judge, our main official, with 2 red. I believe SCHELL had the first 2, And then I believe ENKH AMAR had the second 2 for a 2-and-2
I only have 2 blue.
combination.
If it's 2.
We'll take a listen in as the conversation starts.
Red first, then blue? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So blue first,
then red.
and then red. There you go.
Okay, so blue first, then red, which gives ENKH AMAR the last point scored. But that could be a little bit dicey if SCHELL scores next.
Okay.
So scrambles toward the edge of a map. Change the fortune so quickly. 4-2 lead.
Beautiful wrist roll by ENKH AMAR as she rolled the wrist out and then blasted into a shot and continued to work her way up. SCHELL able to capitalize though with another step out.
Looks like a completely different wrestler in this second period when you watch the German go to work.
Nice snap.
Is that a situation where all those heavy collar ties maybe are starting to wear down the Mongolian a little bit?
100%. She came out really hard in that first period, got her head pulled over and over again, very physical.
And now she turns her over, and this is tight. Lights out, Germany the bronze.
Just like that, a great change of direction as SCHELL pulled with the lat and then pulled down with the arm with a nice little chest-to-chest throw. Beautiful job, an opportunistic attack and fall. Bronze medal to Germany.
She is a strong woman.
Sure is.